Hello, it's Apostle Dwayne. Um, I had a dream back on November, December 10th. Okay, and this dream was a little scary, or part of it was, but in thinking about it later, it was kind of bothersome as well. And I'm just going to read it as I received it. Of the dreams I had, I remember very little except the last one. In the last dream, I remember being in what looked like a baseball stadium during the daytime. The audience portion appeared to be empty on the side that ran from third base to home plate, and there was no team on that side. Um, it may have been the same on the other side, but I am not sure. The rest of the stadium seemed to be full of spectators. In the place of home plate, there was a man on a swing yelling to the crowd. They were responding to him. He had what appeared to be a baseball in his hand and was motioning with the ball as if to throw it into the empty section. Then he says something like, "Do you want me to throw it or them into recant?" Then I heard the people say, "Recant, recant." So he threw the ball into the empty section of the stands, and someone from the neighboring spectator section crossed into the empty section to retrieve the ball. I was watching this from behind and to the left of the man on the swing. Not sure if the man who retrieved the ball was a spectator or a worker. The next thing I remember was being in a very tall swing. I think the swing that I was in was opposite of where the other swing was, but I'm not sure. What I do remember was swinging back and forth and getting so high that I became afraid and tried to slow down. I was swinging up to what seemed like 100 feet on each end. I also remember it being a very pretty day with a blue sky, and the grass was a pretty green. The empty section was gray. He may have been saying, "Do you want them to recant?" Then the crowd yelled, "Recant, recant." I think this dream may be talking about the public shaming and persecution of Christians in the attempt to get them to recant their confession of Christ. The swing could represent swinging people's opinions. The crowd being whipped up is a mob mentality of the world in the end time persecution of the in the end time persecution. The gray section represents the lukewarmness that they will want to force Christians into. The person who went to retrieve the ball was or could be the people who think to be rewarded from turning in believers. I was watching from behind and to the side, waiting to get into the game. I was not a spectator there to watch or take part. When I did get in, I was opposite of the other person, maybe attempting to swing opinion in the opposite direction. I'm not sure about the height. I do not remember talking to the crowd, only swinging back and forth very high and being afraid of falling off. Okay. Now, this was a very vivid dream. I mean, it was more vivid than standing outside on the prettiest day. Okay. And, what we're going to see, what the Lord is showing me in these dreams, is that we may be in the time, because just the other day, I had this past Friday. I was I have an iPhone, and the how you purchase music and it just stays with you or whatnot. Well, I never downloaded the music to my new phone. I've had I bought a few years back. I bought a CD by Lauryn Hill. Who's not necessarily a Christian singer, but from what I have seen and the things that she has done and the music that she has done and who she is as a person, I believe that she knows God, and so I bought it. But anyway, and again, I'm not big on the music business. Most of that's satanic. But in any case, but I haven't had this in years. All of a sudden, on Friday, it pops up on my phone. Actually, Thursday night, it popped up on my phone. That and an album I know I didn't buy. It was a U2 album with two men, and one man was standing, and the other man was was facing the first guy, and he had his arms wrapped around his waist. It looked kind of like it looked homosexual. Okay, and so I was trying to figure out how to delete the U2 album. Okay, but the next morning, the phone just turns on, starts playing one of the songs from the Lauryn Hill album, The Final Hour. Okay, now I didn't think anything of it at the time, but then it kept doing it like one or two more times. It just started playing on its own. Okay, and it was The Final Hour. Now I can tell you this. God does miraculous things with me all the time. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know what your walk is with God. I don't know what his plan is for you. But I will tell you this, God is warning the people. Okay? He's not going to let us go into the tribulation and end times and all this stuff without warning us. Now, I'm not saying that we're definitely going there, that we're going to be the ones, but I will tell you this, the church will go through the tribulation. And we always have a level of disbelief. We don't want to believe it's going to be us. We don't want to believe the end is near. But even if it's not our generation, the end is always near, because one day you're going to check out of the body and go before the Lord. So the end will come for you. Okay? And so we need to be cognizant that just because even if the end, if the Antichrist isn't revealed and all this stuff doesn't come to end now, it's coming. It's coming, but all the signs point to our generation. So please take your faith seriously. If you don't know Christ, there is nothing more important that you need to do. The God of the universe sent his son to die for us on this small piece of earth in the universe. This place is important. It's not less important than any place else. Okay? This place isn't going to be destroyed and we go hopping from planet to planet and all that other stuff. It's not going to happen like that. God is going to come here and wrap this up. Okay? And so when persecution comes, you need to be ready. You need to be sold out. You need to be 100% certain that that nothing is worth more to you than your salvation. That the name of Christ should be valued to you more than any of your possessions, more than your life. Because if it's not, whatever that place is, whatever that thing is that will cause you to turn back and recant your faith, Satan's going to find it, because that's his job. And he wants company in the lake of fire. So please, don't allow yourself to go that way. Make the decision. Stand with Christ, even if you lose everything in this life. Because nothing that you have here is going to be worth anything compared to what you see in the glory of heaven. This is Apostle Dwayne. I pray that this message finds you in health. And I pray that you find the Lord. God bless.